Maria, can you hear me? Say hi, Maria. Leona, can you hear me, Leona? Okay, anyhow, I can't wait a long time. I hope all of you are ready with your textbook. Okay, today we are going to study about alternative market structure. Alternative market structure. The last class, when we studied about intervention, instruments of state intervention, a brief summary regarding market, a small idea I had given regarding the market. And in this chapter, alternative market structure, that is the chapter number 11. Then here we are getting the idea about the market and what you mean by market. And in economics, what is the real meaning in market? Because when we are, as a layman, when they are saying about the market, that is different, and in economics, it is different. Clear? And you should know the difference between these two. And different market structures we know. Four types we have to study. Okay, first let us know about what you mean by market. Here, actually, our today's main topic is market only. Different market structure. And here, market, for a layman, I already said, as a normal person, when we are going to the market, we are going and buying the things in a place, from a place. But in economics, it is a different and variety of goods maybe, otherwise one commodity only we are buying. But market is a place when we are considering as a market. Clear? But in economics, market is not a place. Clear? Albin Joshi, are you there? Albin Joshi? Albin Joshi. Then here, what are the main things you have to study in this chapter according to the revised syllabus? You have to study about the nature and structure of markets. In your syllabus, it is clearly given. And perfectly competitive market, monopoly market, monopolistic competitive market, then concept of product differentiation that comes in monopolistic competitive market and monopoly market. These four types we have to study. What are the characteristics? What do you mean by this market? And these things you have to study. That is only you have to study in this chapter. Okay, first you should know what you mean by market. Three definitions are given there. Any one you can choose it and study. I will say about the last one. The term market refers not necessarily to a place, but always to a commodity. And the buyers and sellers who are in direct competition with one another. It is not a place, but a single commodity. And buyers and sellers are there, and competition is there. Here, second one, by a market, economists mean any organization whereby buyers and sellers goods are kept in close touch with each other. Here also the same thing only, commodity, one commodity only. But they are saying buyers and sellers, there is a close contact. Then any definition you can choose. First one may be little lengthy, therefore maybe you not choose. If it is easy for you, then you can choose. Then characteristics of market. In characteristics of market, from that characteristics itself, all the points are there when we are writing a definition. The first one is market is a facility or system, not a place. First characteristic is market is a facility or system, not a place. Not a place. When we are saying about a market, I am going to market, in our mind there is a place of where we are going. But in economics, market is not just like that. Is a market doesn't mean a particular place or locality. It means a facility or system which helps buyers and sellers of a commodity to interact to decide about the quantity and price of the commodity. Because buyers and sellers direct contact. Abel Sebastian, please come to the class. Then, presence of buyers and sellers. In a market, buyers also should be there, sellers also should be there. Then second one is buyers and sellers. Presence of buyers and sellers should be there. Clear? This is the second characteristic. What are the third characteristics? Third characteristic, a single commodity. Many times I repeated this one. A market means a market for a single commodity alone. Only one commodity when we are saying about. There may be different markets for different commodities. Therefore, only single commodity. These are the three characteristics of market. Clear? Then when they are saying about market, define market, and what are the characteristics? You have to write one definition about any economist, and many times I repeated, economist name should be there. And any market definition you have to write, and these three characteristics, because these 3 points are coming in the definition also. Then also you have to write that market is a facility or system, not a place. Another point is if the presence of buyers and sellers should be there. If only buyers, otherwise only sellers, it is a market. Presence of buyers and sellers should be there. And third one is single commodity. I hope it is clear for you. Market, definition, and characteristics. Facility system, buyers and sellers, single commodity. And you have to write mention, it is not a place. That also you have to write. I hope it is clear. The next part is factors determining forms of market. Just to go through the title, it is not so important because structure, market structures are important for you. Then, factors determining forms of market, number of buyers and sellers for a commodity, and nature of the product or commodity, and knowledge of the market, freedom of entry and exit to the market, and degree of influence in price. If these points will be clear when you will study about the varieties of market. Then only if I will say about explain, you will not be clear for you because we will come to these 4 points by different markets, because then you will understand, okay, what are the number of buyers and sellers in this particular market. Clear? Therefore, when we are studying the market, next one is market structure. Then market is classified on the basis of area, functions, time, legality, and competition. Mainly we have to study competition. Area, functions, time, we are not studying. Relate to classification of market based on competition only we will study. In this based on competition, because we will study market, we will study the based on competition, because we know where everywhere there is competition. Clear? In this competition way, there is perfect market. Just opposite of perfect is imperfect. These are the two markets on the basis of competition. Classify the market on the basis of competition, that is perfect and imperfect. Here, perfect means that everything is perfect. No fault is there. But imperfect, just opposite. But what are the imperfections there? What are the drawbacks? What are the weak points? What are the changes compared to the perfect competition? Okay? That we will have to study in detail. Here, on the basis of competition, we already said perfect and imperfect competition. First, we will study about the perfect competition. But it is very rarely we see that. Ideal one, if everything is perfect, no problem at all. Because here it is perfectly given there, perfectly competitive market or perfect competition is an ideal state of economic affairs which doesn't exist in any industry in its complete entirety, but exists in similar form like stock market, wholesale market for vegetables and goods. Actually, it is not an ideal state. Very rarely we can see this one. Clear? Just a similarity to the perfect competition, we can say stock market and wholesale market, because the price variations are not there, wholesale price, such a way we are saying. But very rarely we can see. Here, now come to the features of perfectly competitive market or perfect competition. First feature, large number of buyers and sellers. First characteristics is there, large number of, because you should be very careful about these features, because when we study about another market, there also these characteristics comes, but the meaning is still different. Clear? Large number of buyers and sellers. Buyers also there, sellers also there. Okay, here large number of buyers and sellers. Just to go through it, there are many buyers and sellers, each with a significant share, insignificant, not significant, insignificant share of the market. This means that each firm is too small relative to the overall market to affect price by changing its own supply. So a single firm's decision has no impact on market price. Each individual firm must accept the price, market price. So each individual firm is assumed to be a price taker. This word I used to be price maker and price taker. Here, just to know about it, here large number of buyers and sellers. What it means, we can see various huge number of buyers and sellers of the same product. When we are studying in economics, we know that market means only single commodity. For the single commodity, large number of buyers and sellers. Clear? Therefore, if large number of buyers and sellers are there, they cannot influence the price of the commodity. And each producer, each seller have to follow the market price. It cannot change the product price because large number of buyers, sellers of the same product. Clear? Therefore, large number, this is a price taker only, not a maker. This word many times comes in the market. This one, each firm, that is seller, producer is only a price taker. Similarly, each individual buyer also too small to influence the market price. He cannot also not influence. He cannot argue for that because he cannot argue because the same product many places. Therefore, many sellers also there. Therefore, he can not bargain for that. Therefore, the price is fixed in the perfect commodity because large number of buyers and sellers. Second one is, that is what I am saying, policy of uniform price is the same price for all the products. Homogeneous product. An identical output is produced by each firm. In other words, the market supplies homogeneous or standardized product. Same type of product. Homogeneous product. Same type of product because large number of sellers are there to produce the product. Therefore, same type of product we will get, homogeneous product. Here, consumers receive the product to be identical. As a result, all the sellers have to sell their product at a uniform price. If any of the sellers tries to sell his product at a higher price, his product will be out of market. Here, what we say, large number of buyers and sellers. Sellers are many. They are producing the same because we are saying about only single commodity. That commodity is produced. To produce that commodity, many sellers are there. Buyers also there. Therefore, the homogeneous product, they cannot change the price. If a seller want to expect more price, he thinks that, okay, if I will raise the price of the commodity, people will buy more. No, he will be out of the market because the same product the buyers will get from near market, near the place. Therefore, it is a homogeneous product. No substitute at all. Then, another one is perfect knowledge of market. First one, what we studied, large number of buyers and sellers and homogeneous product. Third one is perfect knowledge of market. Both the buyers and sellers have the perfect knowledge of the market conditions, which include demand, supply, and price. Here, they know, sellers also know about what is the attitude of the buyers about this product. And buyers also know that, okay, this product is available cheap or what, or what is the price. Therefore, perfect knowledge of market is there in perfect competition. Here the word perfect knowledge, not imperfect, otherwise not relative knowledge. Perfect knowledge of the market of Both the buyers and sellers, they have the knowledge about the supply, demand, and price. Clear? This is a perfect knowledge of the price. Then, the same thing they are saying that if some firms decide to charge a price higher than the ruling market price, there will be large substitution effect away from this firm. But they say, if a seller wanted to increase the price, then his product will be there because people will be new to because the same product they are getting from other place. Then free entry and exit of firms. Free entry. Then there is no restriction upon the entry of a new firm in the market or the exit of an existing firm. They're free. They can enter to the field, they can exit from the field, no problem. This means the market is open to competition from new suppliers. Due to these characteristics, all the firms can get only normal profit in long run. Free entry and exit, that is the fourth firm. Free entry because anybody is free. If they wanted to close that firm, okay, I'm not at all happy about this product, I can stop it, no restrictions. If anybody wants to start the same item, no problem, no restrictions are there. Free entry and exit. Clear? Free entry and exit. That is a perfect free entry and exit of firm. Then next one is perfect mobility of factors of production. We studied the factors of production. If we are getting a final output, final product, before that, it should be produced. Therefore, they need, what are the things they need? Factors of production, four factors. Therefore, there is free mobility. Factors of production are perfectly mobile under perfect competition. In other words, factors of production can freely enter or switch from one industry to another. Here is perfect mobility. Therefore, factors of production from one firm to another firm, freely they can move. Perfectly mobile. Perfect mobility of factors of production. Perfect mobility. Not immobility, not less mobile. Perfect, free, totally free. Perfect mobility of factors of production. Clear? Perfect mobility of factors of production is there. Then, all firms are assumed to have equal access to resources, that is, technology, other factory inputs, and improvements in production technologies achieved from by one firm can spill over to all other suppliers in the market. What they are saying, they know, all the buyers and sellers know about the what is technology and other factor inputs, everything. They have the, that is the first, second point, third point, we will say perfect knowledge about all the things. Clear? Here, large number of buyers and sellers, homogeneous product, perfect knowledge, free entry and exit, perfect mobility of factors of production. Then, last one is absence of selling and transportation cost. Because everywhere we are getting the product very near to our market because large number of buyers and sellers and homogeneous the same product. No need to go to a long distance to get that product because near to us also we are getting. Therefore, there is no transportation cost, there is no selling cost. Absence of selling, and transportation. Absence of selling and transportation. These are the characteristics or features of perfect competition. Clear? These are the features. What are the features we can say? Here, first one is large number of buyers and sellers, homogeneous product, perfect knowledge, free entry and exit of firms, and perfect mobility of factors of production, absence of selling and transportation cost. These are the characteristics of perfect competition. I hope it is clear for you. Now we are coming to the imperfect competition. When we are studying about imperfect competition, we have to study different types of market. In imperfect competition, here everything is perfect. Here everything is perfect, clear. But in imperfect competition, we have to study three types of market there. Imperfect. Three are there. First one is monopoly. In your textbook, it is imperfect competition is given there. in pure versus perfect competition. Here, perfect competition and pure competition. In here, they are saying that pure competition has all the features of perfect competition except perfect knowledge. This may not be there, and perfect mobility. These two characteristics may not be there in pure, because sometimes they are saying about pure competition. Very rarely they are asking pure competition. In pure competition, you are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 characteristics, but these two characteristics. If you are removing these two characteristics, that is known as pure competition. Clear? Then imperfect market. The market structures in which imperfect competition exists are called imperfect market, because here perfect competition, if competition is imperfect, that is market is known as imperfect market. Now we come to the monopoly market, because there is some for features are given. Restricted flow of information on cost and prices, that is less knowledge about the price. All these things, not perfect knowledge. Excessive power of some suppliers, difference among sellers to keep the price high, discrimination by sellers among buyers on the basis of their buying power. That we will study when we will study the imperfect market. Three are there. First, we will study about the monopoly. First, we will study monopoly. Here, monopoly means that is the market structure which is characterized by a single producer. It is known as single producer. Here, large number of buyers and sellers. Sellers means producers. But here only single producer. Mono means itself, you know, single. Single producer. Okay. Only one person to produce the thing. Very simple only. According to some economists, monopoly is that market structure which is characterized by a single producer of a commodity, and where there are no close substitutes for that commodity. Here homogeneous commodity there, many substitutes we are getting rid of, but here no close substitute. The word perfectly given, no close substitute for that. It is very rigorous description of a monopoly situation, because it is almost impossible to find a firm which produces a distinct product which has no substitute at all. Very rarely we are getting such an example, because some example is there, our railway, electricity, that mainly the public utilities. Here then example, when they are asking about the monopoly, define monopoly, the main definition is single producer and no substitutes, and example when we will write public utilities, that is railway and electricity. Here the characteristics is given, main features of monopoly market. The same point only. There is a single seller or producer of that particular commodity, thus it may be called a single firm industry, because we feel that only one seller, only one firm is only there to produce that commodity. Therefore, it is also known as single firm commodity. Then that is only same meaning, single producer. Second one is there is no close substitute. The same paragraph, what it is written, there is only point wise, I give these points only enough. There is no close substitute. Thus, cross elasticity of demand for the commodity is almost zero. Close elasticity of that commodity. You remember what you mean by close elasticity? Cross elasticity we studied. Cross elasticity. Here, remember what are the positive, negative, and cross. Cross elasticity we studied. Otherwise, it is zero also we can say. Then income elasticity, price elasticity, and cost elasticity. Three types of elasticity we studied. Because if the price of one product is increasing, the demand for that product decreases, but the demand for another product is increasing. Why? Because the same thing we are getting, same all the facilities are having in that another product. Then why should we depend on the same product if they are increasing the price? That is known as, just like I gave the example of tea and coffee and cold drinks I give. Clear? Otherwise, vegetables, chicken and pork, I give the examples. I hope you are recalling that point. Because if the price of coffee is increasing, the demand for coffee decreasing, but the demand for tea is increasing. Such a way, cold drinks also when we are taking. That cross elasticity is not at all there because there is no close substitute. That second point is no close substitute. No substitutes we can say, no substitutes. These are the characteristics of monopoly. Second one. Third one that there, no new firm can enter the market easily because no entry, because restrictions to enter the market. No new firm, no entry we can say. No new entry. We can say no new entry to the firms. No new entry clear. Then fourth one is the producer has substantial control over the price of the commodity. We said one word there, price taker and price maker. When we study the perfect competition, large number of buyers and sellers, homogeneous product, perfect knowledge, free entry and exit, perfect mobility. Therefore, here the perfect competition, the seller is only the price taker. Clear? The seller is only price taker. But here in monopoly, he is a price maker. Clear? He's a price maker. Why? Only one person is producing. Then he has the capacity to control the price. He knows that if the person needs this commodity, he will come to me only because no other substitute. Therefore, he can decide the price. That is the characteristics of monopoly. I hope it is clear what you mean by perfect competition and what is meant by monopoly. Then only we will come to the monopolistic competitive market. Clear? Monopoly means single product, no substitute, no new entry, is a price maker. Don't be confused with a price maker and price taker. Clear? Because we studied in perfect competition, the sellers, the producers are only price takers. What price is fixed in the market, they have to follow. They cannot change it. If they want to rise the price, they will be out of the field. That is the condition. Here, price discrimination is there in this monopoly. Here, when a firm is able to sell same product or service of two different categories of consumers at different prices, then it is known as price discrimination. Price variations are there. Who can do the price discrimination? Only the monopolist. We can say the person who are producing a single product is known as monopolist. He can do the price variations. If a person is coming, he is in urgent need of that product, he knows that at any cost he will buy the thing, then he can increase the price. Otherwise, the other person is coming, he is not that much necessary of that product, then to sell that product, he will reduce the price. Otherwise, his product is too much, stock is there, then he thinks that it is better to dispose so fast, then it is better to reduce the price. Okay, now, generally, a monopoly firm is able to practice price discrimination successfully. Then electricity, one example there, electricity company sells same electricity to domestic and commercial consumers at different prices. You get the idea about this, why their electricity is selling the domestic and business purpose. That you can ask your parents, because when for domestic purpose we are using the electricity, the per unit, that amount is less. But if you are using the electricity for the business purpose, that is higher than the domestic purpose. Clear? These are about the monopoly. Monopoly, we can see the price discrimination, but it is not possible in perfect competition. Clear? Then next paragraph, next page, you can see one table, basic of difference between perfect competition and monopoly. It is very easy. Basis of difference, number of sellers and buyers. What about? Just to see the table here. Number of buyers and sellers. Here, large number of buyers and sellers. Here only one seller only. Then entry of and exit of firm. Here free entry and exit. But here what happens? Restrictions are there. Then substitute of commodity, another basic of difference. Here you can see many close substitutes we are getting. But here what happens? No close substitute. Then substitute of commodity. And knowledge about the market. Here the perfect knowledge, but here buyers don't have the perfect knowledge of the market. The same points only they are given in the table. I hope it is clear. Let me ask you one by one. Kevin. 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 Just give me the answer. Say hi. Kevin, are you there? Kevin. Okay. Say hi. Kevin. Hello. Hello. Kevin, did you get the idea about it?
Yes.
Did you? Say loudly.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Tell me one characteristics of monopoly market. Monopoly. Hmm? Not listening. Hmm. Okay. Next class I will make your video also on to see you. Okay. Anyhow. Okay, Kevin. Just come to the next point. Others, any doubt? If anybody want to ask any question now, they can ask now. Antonio Benny, can you hear me? Antonio Benny. Antonio. Antonio.
Yes, miss.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sound is clear. Did you understand what I taught now?
Yes.
What are the topics I taught today?
I was not able to connect.
Now only the problem arises. You didn't see anything.
I was able to connect only after 8:45.
Then also, last moment what I taught. Last what I taught now.
About monopoly.
Okay, okay. I can't waste the time. Just listen carefully. Others also. Okay. Now, he studied about perfect competition and monopoly. Then, the difference between these two competition, what is monopoly, what is perfect competition. Now, we are coming to the another imperfect competition. That is a combination of these two. Monopoly and perfect. These are the combination of these two. That is monopolistic competition. Here, third one, when they are asking about the characteristics of perfect competition, we know that perfect knowledge, free entry and exit, and large number of buyers and sellers, everything we said, and no close substitutes. Then, substitutes are there, free entry and exit, homogeneous product, absence of selling and transportation cost. Then here, monopolistically competitive market or monopolistic competition. Two way you can say. Monopolistically competitive market or monopolistic competition. Here, it is a market structure which contains the features of both perfect and monopoly. Here, perfect plus monopoly we can say. This is the monopolistic competition, imperfect competition. First of all, it is an imperfect competition and it is a combination of perfect competition and monopoly competition. Clear? Therefore, it is known as monopolistically competitive market, otherwise monopolistic competition. Clear? Then, here what are the features we study? Here also, they are using the sentence, the first character, large number of buyers and sellers. The same, you will think that the same point only. Here also, large number of buyers and here also, large number of buyers and sellers. Then, when you are reading this one, you will get the difference between A monopolistically competitive industry contains a large number of firms, each of which is relatively small compared to the overall size of the market. Clear? Relatively small. Here, relatively small, but there in that perfect competition, too small relative, because not at all relative. Here, relatively small, the word is, all the paragraph it is using, small, compared to the overall size of the market. This ensures that all firms are relatively competitive. The word is always relatively competitive. In particular, each firm has hundreds or even thousands of potential competitors. Some influence is there. Here, large number of buyers and sellers. Here, relatively large number of buyers and sellers. But therefore, these buyers and sellers a small, very small influence in the market. But in perfect competition, cannot influence in the market. That is the difference. Relatively small, the word is important. Then here also the word free entry and exit. Point or something, same only you are thinking. Free entry and exit. Here also they are using the word. Monopolistically competitive firms are relatively free to enter and exit in industry at any time. Then when we see the free entry and exit, there is no restriction upon the entry of a new firm in the market or the exit in the exit of an existing firm. That is the characteristic of perfect competition. This means that the market is open to competition from new suppliers for the perfect competition. But here they are saying relatively free to enter and exit. That is, there is some restrictions we can say such a way. Then what is the third characteristic we studied in the perfect competition? Perfect knowledge of the market. Here the word itself imperfect. Here the correct difference we can see. In these two characteristics only you will be confused, because the same title only there, large number of buyers and sellers. Here also free entry and exit we can see. In the perfect competition also those two characteristics we can see. But therefore that I am saying some slight change is there. Not totally perfect. But third one, clearly it is given, imperfect knowledge of market. Imperfect knowledge of market. I hope it is clear for you. Imperfect knowledge of market. Here, in monopolistic competition, buyers don't know everything, but they have relatively complete information about alternative prices. They also have relatively complete information about product differences, brand names, etc. Each seller also has relatively complete information about the production techniques and the prices charged by their competitors. Here in the same paragraph itself, 3 or 4 times it is used relatively. That is a special we can say in the imperfect, otherwise monopolistic competition. Not imperfect competition, monopoly is also there. But here the monopolistic competition, this character, this relatively complete information about the sellers and the buyers, also everything is there. Clear? Then individual price policy. Individual price policy. What we studied in the perfect competition, it is not at all individual price policy. The price policy is fixed in the market, that is for everyone they have to do. Here, individual sellers, producers can fix the price. It is clearly given. Under monopolistic competition, every firm may have its own price policy. They can decide the price, but too much variations don't be there. Then they will go for another product. If the same facilities they are getting from other product, sometimes they are using the brand name is different, package is different, but same facilities only, then they will go. But sellers have the right, because they are free to fix the price. But they will fix the price compared to a slight variation from the relative other market. Clear? Now, non-price competition. Another important feature of monopolistic competition is the non-price competition. All the firms try to capture the market through various methods of competition other than price cutting. These methods may be guarantee for free repairs, after sales service, gift scheme with a particular purchase, special discount on a particular purchase. That is non-price competition. That is also. Then only we are coming to the another important topic, product differentiation. Non-price competition. Mainly, then here the non-price competition only we are going to study the product. Here mainly monopolistic competition. Otherwise, monopolistically competitive market, large number of buyers, one characteristic, another one, free exit and entry, this only I inform, maybe some confusion. Then third one is imperfect knowledge of market, then individual price policy, non-price competition. Clear? Because non-price competition is there, but it is not raising or reducing the price. But other methods they are following to sell the product. That we can see in this is a mono season because we are seeing many advertisements. Clear? Then if we are going through it, same product, maybe, then we will come to the product differentiation, you will get the idea. Then next, product differentiation. The goods produced by firms operating in a monopolistically competitive market are subject to product differentiation. That is an important topic, product differentiation. Most of the time we can see in the question paper what you mean by product differentiation. And it comes in which market, that is also very important. Product differentiation. Product differentiation. I already informed this product differentiation comes in which market? That is mainly comes in monopolistic competitive market. They will ask, define the product differentiation. What do you mean by product differentiation? And in which market it prevails? And in which competition? That is monopolistic competitive market. Now see, the goods sold by the firms are close substitutes for one another, not perfect substitute. Most important, each good satisfies the same basic want or need. The goods might have subtle but actual physical difference, or they might only be perceived different by the buyers. That comes to the 3 points. Product differentiation, the differentiation in that product, not to the price, not because of the price. Here, maybe are close substitutes. Then, example, we are using the toothpaste and all of you are using the same toothpaste? No. Some are using Colgate, some are Close-Up, some are many names, the Pepsodent, Bubble, Anger, and Sensodyne. Many names are there, but the purpose is same only. The toothpaste, just like another cool drinks also, toilet soap also, washing powder also. These all things, purpose is same, but in different names. Clear? That is similar in case of tea also. Taj Mahal, Red Label, Three Roses, many names are there. Here, product differentiation is usually achieved in one or two ways, one or three ways. First one is, in this, when they are asking about product differentiation, you have to write these 3 points, how they differentiate the product. First, we said that non-price competition. In that non-price competition itself, you know, here the 3 types are there. In this non-price only product differentiation is coming. In product differentiation, first one is physical difference. Physical difference. Because when we are seeing the product is totally different. Then how it says that in some cases, the product of one firm is physically different from the product of another firm. One good is chocolate, another one is vanilla. One good uses plastic, another is using aluminum. That is the product by physically in the appearance, how it looks. That is only physical difference. Clear? Then second one is perceived difference. Perceived differences, how it is. Then only different by the bias, even though no physical difference exists. When physical difference is there, you know that how it looks. But perceived difference is different, not physical difference, but some other difference. What are they? Then such differences are often created by brand names, where the only difference is in the packaging. The same product, the product is same only, but a different brand name we can see, and packaging also some difference is there. That is known as perceived difference. Physical difference, perceived difference. Here the brand names are different and the package only different because the product is same only. Clear? Then physical difference is that how it looks. The third one is support services that you can see in this season, mainly in this season on this near about Christmas season and Deepavali and Onam, such near to the festival, they give many offers. That is there. It's still other cases. Products that are physically identical and perceived to be identical. No physical change, no perceived difference is not there. But difference in support services only. How it looks. Even though the products purchased are identical, one retail store might offer service with a smile while another provides expert checkup. That is home delivery, otherwise 5 years warranty, otherwise some free gift with that item. If you are buying one TV or fridge, you are getting another item. That is support services. Their customer only, their customer care, if you are calling, their services so fast. Within 24 hours, they will come and prepare such support services. Therefore, product differentiation is an important topic here. When they are saying about product differentiation, then these 3 points are important. You have to mention these points. Physical difference may be there, perceived difference may be there, and support services. In these 3 characteristics, you know price is not coming. That is why it is known as non-price competition. It comes to the non-price competition only. And in which market, which competition? That is monopolistic competitive market. I hope it is clear for you. Then 3 types of competition we studied. What are the 3 types? Perfect competition, that is perfect market, competition market we can say. Perfect competition, that characteristics we studied, and imperfect competition. In this imperfect competition, 2 we studied, that is monopoly and monopolistic market. That is a combination of monopoly and perfect competition. Clear all of you? And here, role of advertising in monopolistically competitive market. That is, plays an important role because how we know about this product through the advertisement only. And they are imposing that charges also from us when we are going to buy the things. The product price is very high. Why? Because they are spending a lot of money for advertisement. Because, and one way it is good because through the advertisement only, we are getting the information regarding that product. Nowadays in newspaper, magazine, TV, you can see many advertisements regarding many products. That is it. That is not so important for us. Now, one more market only you have to study. That is here. Some tables are there. That what we studied, that only comes in that one. Here, distinction between perfect competition and monopolistic competition. Page number 120, you can see distinction between perfect competition and monopolistic. And last table we studied perfect competition and monopoly. Here, perfect and monopolistic, and monopoly and monopolistic we can study because the same points only. Basis of product, price policy, knowledge of market, number of sellers, product differentiation, and what are the characteristics we studied related to that, how it works in these 2 markets. That's only. If you have any doubt regarding that table, just inform me. The next class I will say about it if you want to get from me. Otherwise, because what are the points is the same only. Now, only 1 for market we have to study. One more. That is monopsony. That is monopsony. Here we studied monopoly. The same first part is same only. Monopoly, monopsony. Mono means single. Clear? Here the word is monopoly we studied. Here we are studying monopsony because MNOPSONY. Mono means single Here, monopsony means buyer. Monopoly, we studied single producer or seller. But in monopsony means single buyer. Only one person to buy. There. That's only because it is a Greek language. Mono means stands for single and sony stands for buyers. Then here, what it means? One who demands goods and services. That is buyer only. Then single buyer. Then main features only. Second paragraph you can see. Mr. John Robinson used the term monopsony to refer the market in which there is single buyer. Same points only. The older phrase was monopoly buyer. Monopoly means a single producer, but monopoly, that is single buyer, they use the word buyer. Then single seller buyer, it comes. Monopoly, we tried only one seller. But then if you are using the word monopoly buyer, then it is not, logically it is not coming the right meaning. Therefore, they change into monopsony. Here, what it means? It is important to remember that in monopsony, the single buyer in the market, example, railways buying railway wagons and engines. Therefore, railway only the single buyer. They only need the railway wagons and coaches. Electricity board is a single buyer of power. While on the other side, seller side, they may be single seller. Because we studied these electricity in both. In monopoly also, we give the example of electricity because they are only the single seller. When we are saying about in the case of monopsony, it comes as a single buyer, electricity. Then what are the features? Main feature is same only, single buyer, or it is also known as consumer. Clear? Single buyer or consumer. Then next one is there may be single seller or few sellers or large number of sellers. Chances maybe. It is not necessary single buyer only, buyer is only, single seller only, few sellers only, large number of sellers, not bother. Because the important point is buyer is single only. Second point is maybe. Maybe one, otherwise few, otherwise more, large sellers. Clear? Either one, few. It is not important. Maybe. That is maybe one seller, otherwise few sellers, otherwise large number of sellers. Another one is the monopolist is able to influence the market price because, or the factors. Why? Because he is only the single buyer. Therefore, he can demand. He has the power to reduce the price. There two ways it is there. Then if the sellers are more, then they have the product, then the buyer can demand. Okay, sellers are many. I am only the person going to buy this one. Therefore, I can fix the price. I can bargain for that. Therefore, sometimes we can say he can decide the price. Price maker. There, they can say there are also five. These are the three characteristics. Single buyer, one, maybe one, few or more. Monopolist is there. Here it is known as monopolist. M-N-O-P-S-O-N-I-S-T. Monopolist can decide he can influence the price. Otherwise, influence the price. Monopolist can influence price. Clear? These are the characteristics of monopsony. Okay. Then here also the distinction between monopsony and monopoly is given there. Just to see that one. It represents a buyer's market. Monopsony means single buyer. Therefore, it is a buyer's market. And monopoly, when we are saying, it is a seller's market. Then here, single buyer, single seller. That's the third one. And there are many sellers in monopsony, maybe one, few or more we can. But there are only one seller. In such a way, we can say many buyers. Here, sellers, many sellers, we said. The same way we can, there may be many buyers also. The next one is that the buyer can influence the price. Here, the seller can influence the price. He can increase or decrease the price. Then buyer can, in case monopolist wants to purchase more quantities of a factor or service, he has to pay additional price for it because the suppliers may not like to spare additional quantities. That is the case because the sellers know that only one buyer. Therefore, they can keep the quantity in a certain limit only, a fixed quantity. Therefore, if the buyer needs more, then he have to pay more money. The chances. The same case, just opposite to the monopoly only. Then monopsony, the purchaser controls the market. Here, the producer controls the market prices. These are the points regarding the monopsony and monopoly. Clear. Here we come to the end of this chapter. Our total, Tanya and Tanya, are you there? Moving from there, sometimes some students total attendance only 18, I think. Okay. Then just to revise the parts about this alternative market structure. Clear? Alternative market structure. Here, what are the things you studied? What do you mean by market? And main characteristics of market and various classification of market on the basis of competition. That is perfect competition and imperfect competition. In perfect competition, only one perfect, Namida, perfect only. Then we studied the characteristics, free entry and exit, large number of buyers and sellers, no close substitutes, and freedom is there, perfect knowledge is there, no transportation cost, no selling cost, all the points we studied. And imperfect, when we come to imperfect market, otherwise imperfect competition, then we studied three markets. Monopoly, monopsony, and monopolistic competition. These characteristics are different, and what do you mean by that? Clearly, you should not be confused with monopsony and monopoly. Why I am repeating? Because many students made the mistake. Monopoly means single seller, monopsony means single buyer. Then how can they influence the market also? How buyer or seller can influence the market? Then monopolistic competition. That is a combination of Tanya, combination of perfect and monopoly. Clear? These are the features, characteristics. And example also you have to write. And product differentiation, one of the another important topic in this chapter, product differentiation. This also you have to. Next class, maybe I will make you to open your video and I'll show you. And assignment, second assignment, I will give you today in our group, then be ready for that. I hope all of you complete the first assignment. And short notes also you have to complete of this chapter. I think we hope we can meet fast. Okay? Bye. Thank you. Have a nice day.